Yeah, so we're telling you to leave.
Right on.
It was Apple, Microsoft, and Tiffany.
Right on.
If you come back or remain on the property for today, you are subject to arrest for criminal trespass.
Hey, go ahead.
Get your supervisor on the scene.
I don't need a supervisor. You can see him down at the gym.
So listen, if you guys want to come in here and act like you're going to educate us, I'm going to educate you real quick. Shut up.
I have 2 grams of cocaine in my butthole.
Okay, outstanding.
Because they're afraid of being held accountable. P. Barnes.
It's a nice speech, but you're still not coming in.
Please step aside. I'm going in.
No, you're not going in.
Don't touch me.
You're not going in, sir.
Let the record show that you just battered me.
Step back.
And you're using...
I'm in a public place. I can film whatever I can see. Photography is not a crime. Photography is not a crime. Photography is not a crime.
Welcome to the John Ligato Show. I'm John Ligato. Let us all go shopping today at the mall with 2 frauditors.
This is my job.
Yeah, most definitely. Show some courtesy and respect. I told you 5 minutes.
No, that's not how he started. He said no.
I said 5 minutes.
No, before we went through
as soon as this man get through.
I said
this. I'm getting customer. I did say no, and I said he's 5 minutes. Show some respect, brother. I came through this door right here. And if you have a policy, I would like to see it.
Mall is private property, which means that customers can be removed from any private property without notice. And this is important for any reason or no reason.
And trespassing is, in fact, an old common law concept that goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. And it is talking about who has the right to be on a piece of property and who has the right to eject people from it.
Okay, no. Just put it in your mouth.
My name is Sergeant Fletcher. I'm with the Lyric Police Department.
Nice
At this time, just to make sure that you're carrying that weapon lawfully, I'm going to ask that you surrender that firearm so we can make sure it is 1, not stolen or altered, and 2, we need to check your identification to make sure that you are not a felon, which would be illegal for you to be in possession of a firearm, even open
Just so
carry.
that you know, I am recording for purposes, to all you guys. But unfortunately, I don't have to.
A very interesting question. Now, what happens when 2 constitutional rights conflict? This guy's at the mall, open carried. This officer asks for the weapon, and the guy does not have to surrender it.
But unfortunately, I don't have to give you my weapon because this is my right to open carry.
Okay, I understand that, but right now, there is enough for us to check into you and make sure that you are, in fact, allowed to have a firearm in the state of Ohio.
Enough. What is it that you have enough of?
Okay, we have to make sure that you are not a convicted felon. That would be a disability in the state of Ohio.
Well, for what reason?
Okay.
For what reason do you have to?
Okay, we're going to go the simple route. The mall does not allow firearms, with the exception of police.
Where's the sign of that?
Okay, he's explained that to you. Okay.
What was that?
It's against mall policy to carry a firearm.
So we have a mall policy, and it's not a law prohibiting open carry.
Okay. Number 6. Would you like to read that?
No. What is it?
Can you read?
No.
This right here?
No,
Possession of any article defined as a weapon, whether legal or illegal, is not permitted in the mall.
Okay.
As well as filming. Any type of photography or filming is illegal in the mall. And her as a representative,
where's the sign?
Hear me out. Her as a representative of the mall is requesting that you either 1, remove the firearm and put it away safely.
Okay.
And then feel free to visit the mall and do your shopping.
Sure.
Or 2, just stay out.
Okay.
But you cannot carry that inside this establishment.
Well, that's why I am carrying it in here, because I did not see no sign. Which, is there any signs up?
No.
Sure. Certainly.
Mainly not.
Okay. Okay. Alright.
And we still need your identification.
For what reason?
I've spoken with one of our officers who is an NRA certified firearms instructor, as well as certified through the state of Ohio, who teaches CCW and is very well versed in open carry law.
Okay.
And he's told us the things that we are allowed to ask for and that you do have to comply with.
Okay.
One, you have to provide your identification. So again, that we make sure that you are carrying that firearm legally. Two, we have the right to check and make sure that that firearm is not reported stolen.
Under what statute?
Couple of things going on here, right? The officers brought a representative of the mall who is the agent of the owner of the mall.
And again, that can be by the owner or the occupant or the agent of the owner or occupant. And that is true in both subsections, that the agent of the owner or the occupant can eject you or forbid you to be on the property. So I've seen videos on YouTube on some of those police cam channels. You can watch entire channels of nothing but police cameras. And I've seen somebody walk into a place like a store, like a business, and they won't leave. Cops show up. Someone called them. Cops walk up to somebody who's in the store and goes, "Why won't you leave?" They go, "I don't have to leave. This is a public place." "No, this is a store. It's actually private. It's just open to the public." "Well, yeah, it's open to the public. I'm public. I'm in here." "Okay, but haven't you been asked to leave?" "Well, yeah, some store worker came up and asked me to leave, but it's hey, it's a store. I'm allowed to be here." No, they're an agent of the owner. An agent of the owner has asked you to leave. You've got to leave. And I've actually seen someone arguing on camera saying, they can't make me leave because they're not the owner. I want Sam Walton to come down here and actually kick me out himself, which might be kind of difficult to do these days, but I want the owner down here. Well, number one, a lot of these businesses are owned by corporations. What do? Bring down the board of directors and have them sign a resolution to eject you?
We'll go back to Gun Guy in a second, but let's visit another mall who also has policies on conduct and can eject anyone at any time for any reason.
Today at 1:11 p.m., I finally arrived at the Mac store to try to get some help at their Genius Bar for an issue I had with my laptop. After I signed up and talked to the people in the Mac store, they told me that I'd have about an hour and a half wait. It was pouring rain, and I decided to go across the street to the Pioneer Place Mall to get out of the weather and keep dry and maybe do some window shopping. For the sake of clarity, I have to point out that the security guards that work inside Pioneer Place Mall and the security guards that work in the Apple Store where I signed up to get some business done at the Genius Bar are the same security company. They are bonded and licensed to both properties. So also, I was told that I violated some of the rules of conduct for Pioneer Place Mall. There's a few seconds of the rules of conduct for Pioneer Place Mall right here in front of you on the video. Just press pause and you'll notice that there's no prohibition about filming.
There's also no policy prohibiting serial killers from shopping, but it doesn't matter. If there's a policy or not, they ask you to go, you must go.
And you'll notice that there's no prohibition about filming of any sort. I had not harassed, annoyed, disrupted, done anything illegal. I merely walked through the corridors of the mall, quietly filming, not speaking to any other individual until I was contacted and harassed by the security guards. At no time was I asked, did I have legitimate business in the mall? They operated from an assumption and their implicit bias to threaten me with arrest for doing nothing wrong. No action that I take was in violation of any of these rules of conduct. Well, when you walk up to any of the entrances of the mall, The rules of conduct are on this little 8x10 piece of paper that's glued to the window. And it's right at baby eye level. So if, you know, a baby is crawling, he or she can look straight at those tiny fine print rules of conduct. But there's absolutely nothing in those rules of conduct that say anything about a prohibition for people filming. So let's get right into what I started shooting when I crossed the street to get in out of the rain and maybe look at some of the items over there at the shopping mall. And I did happen to, by happenstance, come across a medical situation. I thought there may be police involved, and I wanted to film some of that.
Well, Bob was trying to see what these EMTs were doing, or Portland Fire was doing inside the mall, and he was kicked out by security. Bob told me on the phone. By security. Bob told me on the phone. That's Bob down there on the public sidewalk with the security.
So the truth comes out. This was always a gang audit. I mean, if you're going to get your computer fixed, you don't invite another frauditor along with a camera. And you were chasing a medical emergency?
That's Bob down there on the public sidewalk with the security. And I'm actually in the mall. So I'm taking off. Coming back up the escalator and I'm going back down.
I have to freeze frame right here for a few moments. I have not been in a store no longer than 5 minutes with a 30-second margin of error. That means in the first 2 or 3 minutes I was in the mall, the security guards were coordinating on the radio and determining that I'm doing something that's prohibitive. And the first security guard that contacts me with this smarmy, sarcastic look on his face, like he's just holding back his laughter the whole time during this, blatant just assumption that I'm the enemy and they have to get rid of me. The kid's just enjoying his job just way too much. I mean, this is the kind of person that gets into law enforcement because they enjoy bullying someone. I feel sorry for any municipality that actually hires this kid if he does pursue law enforcement career after his security guard work, because this guy's a real piece of work. I just love, and I'm being sarcastic, I loathe the smarmy smirk on his face that he has there the whole time. And in his little sarcastic, smarmy way, starts to tell me this and that about what constitutes shopping. Like, I can't walk around and browse through items, Imagine this, a family goes to the mall and they're walking around and one party in the family buys something and the whole rest of the family, mom, dad, and the kids, don't buy anything.
I want to pause it here, saving your brain for attempting to figure out the logic of this brainiac. I mean, I was getting a headache. Smarmy kid. I don't know what the heck that is, but we'll go back to the mall tomorrow and see how these two frauditors make out. I have no take at this time. I usually do, but I don't. John Ligato Show is being brought to you from right outside the gates of Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune in beautiful North Carolina. Hit all those buttons. I'd appreciate it. Semper Fidelis.